Good afternoon. It is a deep pleasure and honor to have been asked to speak on this day of celebration for Lois Blackburn on her 89th birthday. Many thanks to Kenton Bird for organizing such an important event for Lois's friends, family, and the broader community. And thank you to all of you for coming to remember, pay tribute to, and celebrate this amazing woman who touched so many people's lives in so many different and lasting ways. I express my deepest condolences to Amy and the rest of Lois's family for their deep loss. I can only imagine the emptiness they have been experiencing. Kenton has asked me to speak about Lois's community involvement in the context of the Moscow Civic Associations. Others here on the list will cover this aspect of her life as well, and will fill in any holes that my words have left. I met Lois in the fall of 2002 in the context of the establishment of the Moscow Civic Association. Over the past 20 years, I've had the privilege of not only working with Lois on important community projects, but also having her as a friend, mentor, and role model. Not only was I one of the founding members of MCA with Lois at the helm and with others in this room, and secretary, fondly referred to as Lynn, because I would keep everyone on task during the meetings. They had to stick to the agenda. But after Lois left Moscow to begin a new life in Albuquerque with Amy and her sons, I went to visit her 3 times, twice with Jean-Ami Cloutier, who unfortunately wasn't able to be here, but sends her love, respect, and condolences. The last time we went this past June, it was a special time for all 3 of us, filled with laughing, eating, hanging out in a baby pool we had bought for Lois, and being with Amy as well. So forgive me, Kenton, if I flow into the personal. As Kate Millett said many moons ago, the personal is political, and for Lois, this was her way as well. I would like to take the rest of my time to tell my story of Lois through 6 elements that I find are incredibly special and honorable about Lois and her life, that hopefully will allow us to grieve a bit more easily, miss her a bit less, and most of all, celebrate the person she was and what she did for so many people, and continues to do. 6 elements. Number 1, some of you know what it is, boobs. She cared about women's rights deeply, and we all mobilized around the famous burqa ordinance. In the summer of 2002, under Bill London's tutelage, this was the catalyzing event that brought us together to find the Moscow Civic Association, over which Lois presided until, I hope, 2005. It galvanized a community that had felt Moscow city government had lost sight of our city's core values, and we band together under her leadership, first and foremost, to change city council and the mayor's office to one of the most important parts of American democracy, still, elections. Moscow, number 2, Moscow. Lois was dedicated to Moscow, as all of you in this room are, and all that it represented to her progressive, environmentally aware, justice, and willing to do what it took to protect and foster Moscow. Her love of Moscow and its community was embodied in her leadership of the MCA. She became its lead mother, hosting many of our meetings at her house, being our spokesperson in the community, and fighting many battles that were dear to her heart. She was labeled Queen of the Hippies by Doug Wilson. And as you all know, she embraced this title with glee. And she put her plaque that was given to her by the Intolerantistas over her bed in Albuquerque. She was a true leader in every word and was a key to MCA's success, which included getting like-minded members into city council. Tom Lowenmar, John Dickinson, Bob Stout, Aaron Ament, and the prize of it all, Nancy Cheney as mayor. Under her leadership, MCA became the poster child for success and community solidarity in changing the politics of a town. And we did many wonderful things, which thanks to Lois, you can go and look at in her amazing scrapbooks. And in my discussion with her until just this summer, and Jean-Ami's as well, she wanted not only these scrapbooks to be read, but that MCA be carried on by by a new generation. Lois cared so much and worked so hard that she actually had a mini stroke at one of our board meetings. Yes, and that was, as her friends know, and that was when she decided from her doctor's suggestions to step down from being president, but only then. Third, trees. The tree affair at the mall was when I realized and really took on board that Lois was a single-handed dynamo. She found out that the trees on the edge of the mall were going to be cut down. It was a bureaucratic decision that had no public involvement, as things like that tend to be. She found out about it. Oh, she found out about it. I believe on a Sunday, and when protested against the cutting down of these trees, she made phone call after phone call with some help, but it was mostly her, and lo and behold, the trees are still there. Another Four, water. Kelly Moore will speak to you about this campaign that she and he led to protect our aquifer and water resources that was threatened by Naylor Farms, a long and hard-fought legal and community battle that was won, and sent a message loud and clear that Moscow was not to be the home for unbridled resources extraction. We have not seen any businesses try to do something like that. Number 5, resilience. Resilience. Lois was a fighter and an activist and had a lifetime of struggle with the loss of her husband in her 30s, bringing up her family as a solo mother, the extreme pain she had to deal with starting in her 70s of her osteoporosis, and most recently the loss of her son this year. She managed all of these challenges, as you all know, and never complained. Well, maybe just a little bit. Or whined, or dwelled. Indeed, she turned these challenges into strengths, rechanneled any self-pity into activism, love, and support. The last one. You know I can't stop without it. Friendship and family. As all of you here attest, and many who could not make it, Lois is loved far and wide by her students, her colleagues, members of the community, children, all different ages. Everyone loved and was touched by Lois. For her, this was everything. Her children, with Amy at the helm, have been an incredible support for her in Albuquerque, and she so loved her children and appreciated all they did for her. Each time I went back to Albuquerque to visit, I met a host of new friends. She had made her cello circle, her neighbors, and all of the people that came to visit, and helped her with her care, and helped Amy with her care. She taught me, as I'm sure she taught many of you, the lesson that in order to have deep bonds with friends and family, you have to give to them, and care for them, and not judge them. And also not expect anything in return. She also turned me on to the soda stream, the home spun water machine. So I get every day of my life, I get to be reminded of my dear friend Lois when I go. So to end it all, I'm sorry if I went on for too long. I hope I was able to do just a little justice to Lois's memory and life and all that she gave to us and how she touched me and perhaps many of you in the room. I would like to end with a thought that actually came from one of her scrapbooks. It was a thank you card to Lois, but I think it captures Lois's essence and allows us to look toward the future and to be hopeful. Shine on, shine on. The world needs more people like you.